Hi, my name's Rachel, and I was brought up in a very strong Christian home. My dad was a minister. There were four of us children, and I remember the day that I became a Christian. I was 5 years old, and I was in the upper study that we had at home, and I said to my dad, "Did Jesus really, really, really rise again?" Which is why Easter Sunday is so great for me. And he said, "Yes, it did." And so I said, "Oh," and he said, "We'll pray." And I gave my heart to Jesus on that day. Okay, so growing up as a Christian, obviously I had really good points, ups and downs. My 20s were quite difficult but exciting in terms of faith, and but I came to a point in my 30s where I had a few problems and had a faith crisis, and I'm here today to say that that's over. And I came to Woodlands and I felt full of joy again and restored in Christ. I want to get baptised today because originally it was around Easter at 5 when I became a Christian on Easter Day, and the resurrection was always really important in our upbringing about the truth of Christ. The resurrection was always really important. But I haven't been baptised as an adult. I haven't given my testimony for a few years. So I want to say to everybody that this is kind of me following Christ in my 30s and ready to live here, to live abroad, to be rich, to be poor, to be married, to be single for Christ, which I haven't done before to say publicly.
My name's Rich, and brought up in a Catholic family, so I used to go to church. Had to go to church. It was often a chore. I wouldn't say that I certainly wasn't following God's way. Was I looking for God? No, I probably wasn't, but I was always aware of him, and I didn't really want to step too far away from him. He was always my safety net, I guess. But it was very much sort of on my terms. In 2002, I did an ALF course, and I was led into that really by a chance meeting with a chap who lived in a flat beneath me. In an AGM, there was some joke about, oh, the guy beneath is a bit churchy, plays his worship music. And my ears pricked up because I knew that actually that was something I wanted to look further into. So we then bumped into one another in the corridor, got chatting. He was a really nice guy. And he said, "Why don't you come along and try one of these ALF courses?" Which I did, and it was, I think, a revelation in terms of my perception of what God is and who he is and what he wants for us. And moving away from that, do this, do that, you must do this, if you don't do that, then to a much more relational God who kind of really deeply cares about us and really wants good stuff for us. I started coming to Woodlands Church about 5 or 6 months ago, and then managed to hook into Bridge Pastorate, which has just been a really big help in meeting like-minded people, exploring more of my own faith, and kind of allowing that kind of crossover from knowing God but kind of leading a life that's over here, that's God, and leading a life over here that's not necessarily fully God. And Bridge has just made it more natural to be a Christian throughout the whole of my day. The baptism thing for me is huge, really, because I've made a lot of decisions on my own strength in the past, and I want to put that behind. I want to break free of the past, the man that I have, where I've stepped on my own and left God behind, and bury that. And I'd love to just really receive God afresh and set a new course.